Hi and welcome to our Maptive screencast. Over the next few minutes we're going to look at Maptive, our interactive system for locating local cats protection branches, adoption centres and shops. So the first thing we want to do is copy the Maptive link from the options on the Word document and paste this into Google Chrome. As with 3 rings, we find that Google Chrome is the best browser to use, and we also recommend you save this into a cats protection folder or to your favourites page for easy access. Once you're in, you should see a map of the United Kingdom and lots of blue circles with numbers in them. You should also be able to see a zoom in and zoom out button, which you may need to use, and a search button. To locate an area on the map, you need to click the search button, black and white magnifying glass, and type in the first part of a postcode. We are going to use the postcode RH16. We are just going to hit enter, but if for any reason this does not work, please click the postcode range in the drop down box you can see here. This will then zoom you in on a section of the map, and you should be able to see a pin or series of pins with a distinctive colour. If you do not see anything immediately, please try scrolling out. The colours represent different things. A blue pin represents one of our branches. Please note that our branches are not physical locations, but rather a group of volunteers working from their own homes. We currently have over 250 branches across the UK. If you come across a green pin, this is one of our charity shops. We have approximately 60 shops across the country. If a red pin pops up when you enter a postcode, this means that we do not have any active branches or centres in the area. We will look a little more closely at what to do in this case later on. If you see a blue circle with a high number, this is likely an adoption centre. Click on this and you should see a yellow pin appear. These pins represent adoption centres. This is a building where cats are cared for. An adoption centre is open to the public during its set opening hours. We have over 30 adoption centres across the UK. So let's go back to our blue pin, which we now know is a cats protection branch operating in the RH16 postcode area. What we do is click on the pin, which will open up an information box. We can see immediately that this is the Mid Sussex branch. Before we give out the information we see here to the member of the public, there are a few important things to check. The branch status, we need to make sure that this is active. If the branch is inactive, it needs to be treated as if it were a red pin, or we are not currently covering that postcode location. The status detail, we can see here that this branch is fully functional. It is important to make sure there are no restrictions or limitations on the branch. The general notes, you sometimes need to scroll down for these. Any information about activities the branch is unable to carry out will be here. Providing you have checked all of these things and there is nothing to indicate that the branch or centre is unable to help at this time, you are okay to give out the details in this white box. The phone number, the email address, web address and adoption fee if applicable. Now we have seen how to locate a local branch or centre for a caller, we're going to briefly look at what happens if we get a red pin. So we do not have any active branches or centres in the caller's area. Let's try putting in the postcode NE19. As you can see, this should bring up a red pin and it should tell us there is no CP coverage. In a case like this, your course of action will depend on the type of inquiry the caller has. Generally speaking, if they're looking to adopt a cat from us, you are able to widen the search using the zoom out button and look for an active branch or centre nearby which may be able to help. It is important to remind the caller that it is not a certainty but a possibility. You can also widen the search if the caller needs access to a lost and found register, if they have lost their own cat or found a stray for instance. Unfortunately, if the caller is looking to rehome their own cat, we are unable to widen the search area and offer an alternative branch or centre. The script will prompt you to signpost the caller to a website called catchat.org in this scenario, and we will look at this in more detail in our quick script screencast. Please feel free to have a play around with Maptive, inputting postcodes and reading through the information we have on there. We will have a more in-depth look at the system and play a few games to test your knowledge in our online learning event at the end of your training. I hope you've enjoyed the screencast, and as always, if you have any questions, please do send through an email to contactcentre.support@cats.org.uk.